Hey Husker Nation, welcome to another video from Just Two Dudes. My name's Louie.
My name's Seth.
I'm the dad.
And I'm the son.
Alright, we want to talk to you about the spring game. I know it was a couple weeks ago, but we've kind of had a family health issue and haven't really been able to do this for a couple of weeks.
Alright, a lot of family coming in and out of the house.
Yeah. The spring game. There's a lot of things that we were excited to go see and really didn't get to see a lot of them.
Yeah.
It was probably the most vanilla, plain spring game I think I've ever been to.
Yeah.
The game really seemed to be set up for the quarterbacks.
All right.
Taylor Martinez and Cody Green and Cody Spano.
Tomato.
There was only 2 blitzes.
Yeah.
By the defense.
Both
the
of them
game.
were the same blitz too, with one of the linebackers going through the C gap and the safety coming around the edge on the E gap. That was pretty much it, really.
The E gap
Outside the end. The end
outside
always,
a tackle or a tight end.
The end always takes the D gap around, and they were going around the defensive end.
Okay. All right. So basically, not a lot asked from the quarterbacks. Even though it was set up for them, they didn't have to pick up blitzes. They could go through their reads. They could do their progression.
It was basically just how well they knew the fundamentals of the system.
Yeah,
that's pretty much about it.
It was almost like a simplified 7-on-7 drill.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
because the lines weren't really asked to do much. The defensive line, there was no stunts, like you said, there was no blitzes. And really, we came to find out after the game that the way Carl and Bo wanted the defensive line to play is they just wanted them to get in their gaps and stay in their gaps.
Right.
That's why you didn't see. That's why you didn't hear like Jared Crick's name really at all. Is because he wasn't supposed to get off his guy and make plays. And as dumb as that sounds, of course that's not gonna be how it is this fall when the games start rolling around. But just for now, that's why
they needed the O-line and the quarterbacks to be able to get out there and get some.
And it's really been kind of ticking me off around here when people are starting to say they're worrying about the black shirts all of a sudden just because they didn't dominate our offense. They weren't supposed to.
It was not set up for that.
Yeah, the black shirts will be fine.
And one of the quarterbacks even had a green jersey on. Was that Cody?
Yeah, Cody Spano.
Yeah. Oh, Cody Spano.
Yeah,
okay.
We gotta make sure.
Well, the 3 quarterbacks that basically there was 2 featured. Everybody can talk about Cody Spano and things like that.
He's pretty much an afterthought, though.
He's nowhere in the picture. It's going to be Zach Lee, Taylor Martinez, and Cody Green.
Right.
We got to see Cody Green. I think on earlier videos I've said I don't ever see him starting a game here at Nebraska. Now I can kind of see. I see some improvement from him.
Yeah, so did I. I was really impressed with not just some of the throws he made, but the way he looked in the pocket a little bit too. I was definitely
had some nice touch on some balls. They weren't thrown like they were shot out of a rocket.
Yeah, and
I mean, he looked like a quarterback putting some touch on a ball.
Yeah, which we've been all along just wanted to see just a little bit of improvement from him, and hopefully he'll continue that. Maybe in the fall, maybe he can push Zach Lee for that job.
Well, let's hope.
Now.
He could be single-handedly the most important guy on the whole football team. Because the quarterback is, no matter how good we are this year, it's all going to depend on the quarterback.
The quarterback is
if Cody Green can push Zach Lee to be better, that's just going to be awesome. So Cody Green, I hope he just keeps on improving.
Yeah.
And Taylor Martinez, we kept hearing how fast this kid was, and he is as advertised.
And you don't really hear about that in the spring a lot. You know, there's always the guy who's the darling of the spring, you know, that everybody talks about. That was Taylor Martinez this year for sure.
Yeah.
And for once, he lived up to it.
Well, he lived up to it in
the running game.
In the scrimmage. Who knows how he's going to translate into a game situation. But it was the defense really can't say a whole lot about them. They weren't asked to do a whole lot. The one thing I did not like is I do not like Dijon Gomes being so far away from the line of scrimmage. Basically last year, like in the against Texas in the Big 12 championship game, he basically played a lot of outside linebacker. And he at times Eric Hagg would come up and fill his spot, and he'd go cover a slot receiver.
Right.
But I really think he needs to stay closer to the line of scrimmage. To me, he's
me and you completely disagree on.
Yeah,
this.
I really like him up by the line of scrimmage. Right. I saw him playing safety, and I was just.
You were slightly heartbroken.
Yeah, because to me it kind of takes away our best playmaker, and then the one time he did get his hands on a ball, he dropped it down by the goal line. So I'm like, oh man, I hope I didn't curse him. I hope I didn't curse him by dubbing him as my kind of favorite player. Yeah, what else about Dijon Gomes?
John Gomes got the autograph after the game.
Yeah.
He was down on the field with some other players, got his autograph. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Got to see some Huskers down the field.
Yeah.
Got to see him and Rex Burkhead. Couldn't really get Rex's autograph, but this was nice.
Yeah, too many people around. Rex Burkhead, he's got as much hair as I do, by the way.
I always thought it was a buzz cut. You get up close to him. That's no buzz cut.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rex. But.
All right. The O-line. We really wanted to watch the O-line, but they were asked to do so little. There were no blitz pickups. Mm-hmm. It really was 6 guys and 7 guys on 4 the whole time. Really couldn't grade any kind of execution or anything like that.
But the thing you could grade was effort.
Yeah.
And how quick they were getting off the ball. Because, the defense wasn't asked to do much, but they were asked to fire off the ball. You better believe that. That's what Carl and Bo, that's what they do. They fire off the ball. So you better believe that they were doing that. And the O-line showed effort. I know, Cole Pensick.
Yep.
When Brandon Kinney caught that slant pass, and at the 10 he started pushing guys. Cole Pensick,
from right here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
From right here in Lincoln, Nebraska, he's the one sprinting down the field, and he's the guy
out of Lincoln Northeast.
Out of Lincoln Northeast, he pushed the guy, or Brandon Kinney, he pushed that pile, helping Brandon Kinney get into the end zone. And if the O-line's going to start, I know that's just one guy, but if as a whole the O-line can start putting that kind of effort,
yes,
we have enough talent on offense to be better than last year by far. But it all starts with one, the quarterback, and then second, how this O-line plays.
Right, and Cole Pensick was matched up against Jared Crick.
Yeah.
And, Crick wasn't too active, wasn't asked to do a whole lot, but, Cole Pensick is a redshirt freshman. Mm-hmm. And even if he just had to... didn't have to worry about stunts and other things. Just the fact that he went up against Jared Crick for 30, 40 snaps, and he held up, and Crick wasn't blowing by him on every play. Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
And that was really cool to see a Lincoln kid, a kid who I actually played against a couple of times. It's just cool to see.
Yeah, another kid you played against a couple of times, Jim Ebke.
Yeah.
From Lincoln East. He got in the game. He ended up with 7 tackles. When he was at East,
you loved him.
Yeah, we went to a couple of his games and just was horrified by the fact that Callahan wouldn't offer him anything, didn't try and get him to walk on
Not
here.
Not even a gray shirt or anything.
Yeah, and I don't know if Jim Ebke's ever going to step on the field in a game situation. I think he's good enough to eventually hit on the special teams.
Right.
It doesn't matter. A local kid on the team is one of my favorite stories. Basically, I think that's one last thing to talk about. We gotta make this. We really gotta wrap this up.
Yeah.
Niles Paul.
Finally, maybe showing some improvements. Maybe finally becoming a wide receiver and not just an athlete.
Yeah, beat Prince Amakamura a couple times.
Yeah.
And went up and outfought Prince for a couple of jump balls. That was nice to see.
Yeah.
And Brandon Kinney was actually running routes, by the way, people.
Yeah.
We may have a wide receiver
that
can run routes. Well, I think Brandon Kinney can.
Yeah.
Niles Paul, I'm even starting to wonder if he even has to. He's just so fast.
Physically, I don't think there's too many wide receivers in the whole country that can compete with him physically. I mean, especially in the Big 12. Really, the only person I can think of off the top of my head is that Broyles from Oklahoma, because he's good. He's good, but outside of that, Niles Paul is the man. Hopefully he can, like what we've been wanting from him is to be a wide receiver.
All right, guys, we got to go.
See you later, Husker Nation.